Niccolò Machiavelli, born on May 3, 1469, in Florence, Italy, has often been portrayed as one of the most morally bankrupt figures in history. His philosophy, especially in The Prince, has led to him being branded as an advocate of ruthless pragmatism, prioritizing power over ethics. His famous statement that the ends justify the means would go on to become infamous, leading to the banning of The Prince for centuries and reinforcing Machiavelli's reputation as a symbol of political cunning. In 1539, the renowned figure Reginald Pole declared Machiavelli to be the enemy of the human race. This view stemmed from Machiavelli's belief that rulers should focus on effectiveness and practicality, not morality. He argued that achieving power often required ruthless actions, such as manipulation, violence, and deceit, to protect the state and secure control. Despite this dark portrayal, Machiavelli's philosophy exposes an uncomfortable truth about human nature. Beneath his advocacy of brutal methods lies a deeper understanding of the realities of power and success. His insights into human behavior remain relevant, offering lessons that can be applied beyond politics. Machiavelli's views were shaped by the volatile political environment of Renaissance Italy, a time of constant warfare, betrayal, and political upheaval. Italy was not a unified nation, but a collection of city-states, each vying for dominance. The Medici family, who had ruled Florence, were exiled in 1494, leading to the brief rise of a republican government. During this time, Machiavelli witnessed firsthand the intense factionalism and power struggles that defined the period. By 1498, Machiavelli began his political career and quickly rose to prominence as head of Florence's foreign affairs. His life was shaped by his exposure to political instability and the brutal realities of war, particularly during the Italian Wars, which saw foreign powers like France and Spain battling for control over Italian territories. In 1512, the Medici family returned to power, and Machiavelli was accused of conspiracy against them. This led to his torture and eventual exile. It was during this period of political downfall that he wrote The Prince and Discourses on Livy, works that would cement his place in history. Machiavelli's political philosophy was deeply rooted in his understanding of human nature. He believed that people were inherently selfish, hypocritical, and driven by personal gain. Rather than relying on moral ideals, he argued that leaders should act in ways that serve their own interests. For humanity's self-serving tendencies often lead to betrayal and disloyalty. This disillusionment with human nature was exacerbated by the behavior of figures like Pope Alexander VI, who exemplified hypocrisy and corruption. Pope Alexander VI's papacy, marked by deceit, nepotism, and exploitation of excommunication for personal gain, reinforced Machiavelli's belief that politics and morality were often incompatible. Machiavelli famously posed the question of whether it is better to be loved or feared as a ruler. While he acknowledged the appeal of being loved, he argued that fear was a much stronger and more reliable tool for maintaining control. Love, according to Machiavelli, is fleeting and easily lost when circumstances change, whereas fear remains a more enduring force. He used historical examples such as Cesare Borgia to demonstrate how fear could unify and stabilize regions. Borgia's ruthless tactics may have been brutal, but they were effective in consolidating power. Machiavelli believed that a ruler must not hesitate to use fear and punishment, if necessary, to preserve the state's security. Machiavelli's radical ideas often clashed with conventional moral and religious norms. He argued that the ruler's primary duty was to protect the state, even if this meant abandoning traditional moral codes. This philosophy of reason of state was highly controversial, as it separated politics from religion, allowing rulers to make decisions based on pragmatic concerns rather than moral or theological considerations. In The Prince, Machiavelli emphasized that rulers must surround themselves with competent and loyal advisors, as their success depends on the quality of the people they choose to support them. He also advocated for using drastic measures when necessary, ensuring that any harm inflicted on enemies was so severe that they could never retaliate. Machiavelli famously wrote that a ruler must embody both the fox and the lion. The fox symbolizes cunning, intelligence, and adaptability, traits that help a leader navigate complex political landscapes and recognize hidden dangers. The lion, on the other hand, represents strength, power, and the ability to assert authority when necessary. For Machiavelli, a successful ruler must understand when to deceive and when to confront directly. He argued that leaders should always act in their own interest, manipulating situations to their advantage when possible. His philosophy is rooted in a deep understanding of human psychology, recognizing that people are often swayed by short-term desires and can be easily manipulated. Machiavelli's ideas have sparked intense debate and controversy for centuries, often polarizing opinions on his views regarding power and politics. While his philosophy may appear harsh and even cynical, it offers a starkly realistic understanding of human nature, leadership, and the mechanics of governance. His work, particularly The Prince, continues to be an influential touchstone for political thinkers and leaders, providing a framework for navigating the complexities of statecraft. Despite the perception of Machiavelli as a proponent of ruthless pragmatism, his insights into the human condition, the pursuit of power, and the moral compromises inherent in leadership remain strikingly relevant in modern political discourse. His ideas endure not because they are easy or comfortable, but because they force us to confront the realities of politics and power in ways that few other thinkers have dared to.